Hi, my name is Julian Garcia, and I'm a student here at Julian Central High School, and I am a freshman, and this is my first time taking a class like this. This is an example screencast from our orientation to technology class. So a quick overview to help the viewer to know what to expect as you're moving through the screencast. First, I'd like to summarize what the orientation to technology class is. It is a class that introduces us to different types of vocational classes they offer here at Julian Central High School. We have the opportunity to spend roughly 2 to 3 weeks in classes like photography, engineering, and drafting, wood, automotive, computer maintenance and repair, electronics and robotics, metals, and welding. My goal for this project is to learn from my mistakes and to learn how to correctly make the sheet metal phone stand. I want to use this screencast to show you my project from start to finish, as well as sharing the skills I gained while making this project, the troubles I faced, the results and modifications I had to make along the way. Finally, I will reflect on the project as a whole and share my overall thoughts. This project first started in an adventure where I showed step by step how I made the phone stand in Inventor. First, I started in step one with all the dimensions of the cuts and sizes of the piece of sheet metal. Then on step two, I did fold one. After that, I did step three where I did bend two. Here, as you can see, then after steps one, two, and three, I did step four, where all the bends are done now, and all I have to do is the final step, which is to fold right down the middle. Then once that was done, I finished the phone stand 3D in Inventor, moving on to the next step. Onto the CAD drawing. So after we finished the 3D model, we did the orthographic drawings and on the measurements on the of the sheet metal phone stand. I learned that an orthographic drawing is typically consists of a front, top, and right side view. Also, you would usually see a shaded orthographic to help the viewer visualize the 3D object. Here you will see the dimension drawings I created for the sheet metal phone stand. I learned how to create measurements for a physical object. I also learned how to properly fill out the title block as well as to adjust the precision of the dimension. Now for the physical aspect of the project. We needed a pair of safety glasses anytime you're in the metal shops to prevent any injuries. For a certain step, you will need some gloves when you use the blue layout fluid liquid. Make sure you don't get any of the blue liquid on you because it stains easily. Once you get the sheet metal, get a flat piece of cardboard big enough for the piece of metal. There it is there to protect the surface of the table. And for the tools, I needed a tape measure and a scribe. It has a little red rubber on the tip on it because under the red rubber tip there is a sharp metal tip that we will use to score the top space of the sheet metal. You will also need a machinist square and a pair of safety gloves. You will also need a steel ruler and a flat pattern handout and the piece of paper with all the measurements. Before we started, we needed to take a picture of all the tools and safety equipment, then paint the side of the stock, let it dry, then take another picture. Then we needed to use the scribe to mark all the lines and measurements on the stock as well as the cutting part. After making everything, we needed to take another picture of everything labeled, then move on to the next step. So for the cutting, we needed a pair of shears that work, make sure they work, and the safety gloves, and a filer to file down the edges, and a deburring tool to take out any sharp edges from the stock top and bottom side. Once we have everything, we needed to take a picture of that. Then we get started on cutting. The cutting lines, which we were already made, we cut them out on both sides and cut out the corners. Once done cutting, we had to take another picture. Then we used the filer and the deburring tool to take out any sharp edges on the top and bottom side. Then once we are done with that, take another picture. Then we moved on to the bending portion of this project. This is the final step to making the phone stand, and we need the safety glasses and the protective gloves and the sheet of paper with all the measurements. Then we take a picture of all of that. So I did the bend one first at 90-degree bend with the sheet metal pan and box brake tool that is bending the stock and lifting the clamp and placing it facing up. Then I put the clamp back down on it and bent it by picking up the apron, which is a weighted stabilizer. And I repeated this with all the steps, but I had to take a picture of each bend. But band 4 was a little different, as you see, because you needed to put it facing down and bend it at a 180 degrees angle. As you see, this is the finished project, and I took multiple pictures at multiple different angles, as you will see in this slide and the next slide. Here are just some more pictures at different angles, and even with one on the phone on it, to visualize what you would see in your eyes when using it. Some things I would like to reflect on is not taking enough photos. I feel like I could have taken more photos. And also, when making the markings on the stock for the bending and cutting lines, I messed up a couple of times and I needed to do the right lines, so it was a little messy. But I feel like you just have to be more precise next time when doing it. Another thing is when cutting the sides of the phone stand with the shears, I actually cut into the phone stand and didn't follow the cutting lines, which was on accident. That was on me. And I ended up did cutting it correctly, but there was just like a little cut in there. So also, whenever I use the shears again ever in my life, I have to be more precise. The last mistake. We were supposed to start from left to right. No, we were supposed to start from right to left, but I started from left to right. That was my mistake, not reading the directions more carefully. I felt good making the measurements in Inventor because I had used it before, so I was good at that. Overall, I really enjoyed this project because I actually made something that I can use every day, and it was less steps than I anticipated. I learned from my mistakes and how to use all the tools I used to make the phone stand. I want to say thank you to Mr. West and Mr. J for helping me when I needed it, and any other classmates to give me a little help along the way. So overall, I really enjoyed this project where I made the mistakes and I learned from them. Thank you for taking your time by watching me making the sheet metal phone stand for the orientation and technology class. And thank you for your time to watch the screencast. Have a good day and bye.